Whey protein has been actually shown to have a positive effect on insulin sensitivity. So what he's saying here is basically 100% wrong. Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today we are talking about Dr. Berg and the best foods to suppress appetite. So we'll see if he's right or wrong and if his claims are actually funded in science.
And this is backed up by science.
We here on the Maxi Food Nutrition channel always fight misinformation on the food and health sector. And this show started the channel. This is a science or not. So I'm pretty excited. So let's get started.
I wonder how some people can just go through the entire day and be in front of food and totally resist it.
Many of the foods that we're eating today are very high in calories, but not very nutrient rich. They often have a lot of refined sugars. And those kind of calorie dense foods can be digested faster. They promote spikes in blood sugar levels. And then also, if you fall off, you make you consequently feel a lot more hungry.
Sometimes they might think that this is a lack of willpower or they're just a professional procrastinator. That is absolutely not true. What they're really lacking is the knowledge I'm going to share with you today.
So what he's saying is that you need to know which type of foods you should eat and which ones to avoid in order to feel saturated for longer. And I 100% agree with this.
In appetite, don't start with your stomach. Sometimes it starts with your microbes, your gut bacteria that manipulate your brain. There's some wild and bizarre information how gut microbes can actually cause you to eat the wrong thing.
So this is actually not all that wrong. Back in 2010 or even earlier, researchers were hypothesizing how the gut microbiota can interact with your brain and generate cravings for certain foods. And evolutionary, that would make also a lot of sense, right? We are the host of the gut microbiome, and by manipulating us to eat what they need, they would improve their own environment. This is also not unheard of. Many organisms are hosts for other organisms, microbiomes, or even parasites, and they can manipulate their host behavior to promote their own survival. That research is also becoming a little bit more solid in the last couple of years. There is a lot of evidence that the gut microbiome is interacting with our brain. I put all the research that I cite here into the description of the video. Feel free to look at those and read them for yourself. So while this is very oversimplified, he's not wrong.
Let's go through these foods starting with coffee. Coffee stimulates something that actually helps you feel like you're full. Decaf coffee can do the exact same thing. Just make sure you do an organic decaf coffee if you're going to.
Okay, so yes, that is also true. Coffee has been shown to reduce appetite. That's known for a long time. So what I do not agree with is the whole organic thing. I think that is a lot of fear-mongering. And guys, I am a production specialist. I work in food production and with farmers for almost 20 years. And there has really not been any conclusive study that has shown that organic food is healthier than non-organic food. There are many other reasons why you want to buy organic. They are totally valid. Like if you don't want to support the synthetic pesticide industry, but you want to support the non-synthetic pesticide industry. If you want to support the health of the farm workers, if you want to support environmental health. Those are all very valid reasons to buy organic foods, but there has been no conclusive study shown that organic food is somewhat higher in certain antioxidants, or even that the pesticide residues that can be found on non-organic food has a lasting health impact. So those are all things that has not been shown in any type of research so far.
Avocado was a really good thing to satisfy you, not just because it's fatty, but there are certain natural chemicals in avocado help satisfy you, reduce hunger. I know with me, when I consume guacamole, it really fills me up really fast.
Okay, so I disagree with this. Avocado is a calorie-dense food. It will help you to feel full, but it comes at a massive calorie cost. One avocado has 250 calories, one avocado. So I think there are better options that offer lower calories, like cabbages, pumpkin, broccoli, carrots, kale, cucumbers. Those are all very low calorie, nutrient dense foods that make you feel saturated as well, but at a less caloric burden.
Plus, it has certain fiber that can feed your bacteria. And fiber in anything slows down the spike of blood sugar. It will prevent you from having a low blood sugar situation, which will increase appetite.
Avocados have a lot of fiber, 13 grams of fiber, and the calorie to fiber ratio is also pretty good. It's 12.3 calories for 1 gram of fiber. That's pretty decent, actually. But the question becomes, really, are you a big eater or not? And if your body feels more saturated because you eat larger portions, then I would opt to low-calorie foods, like I mentioned before, the pumpkins, the broccolis, the cabbages of the world, that might have a little bit less calorie-to-fiber ratio, but you can eat a lot more to reach those 200, 250 calories that you would eat with one avocado. I think avocado can be part of a weight loss journey, but only if you're accustomed to eat smaller portions, because, again, it comes at a very high calorie burden.
Cayenne pepper is another thing you should be adding to your food. In certain studies, just the smell of it alone will decrease hunger, which is pretty wild.
Okay, so this really goes for everything that has capsaicin in it, not just cayenne pepper. Every spice that is derived from chili peppers has capsaicin in it. And those spicy foods have been shown to suppress appetite. at least in short-term studies. If you like spice, you should use it. It definitely helps a little bit with appetite suppression. Also, if you don't like it, don't use it. At the end of the day, you need to like the food you're eating, and that is more important than eating something that you do not like. You will not stick with it for the rest of your life, and that is really what you need to do. On the smell of cayenne pepper, I would say that is not supported by science. I personally think that is a very long stretch. The science on that is absolutely not clear. Spicy, capsaicin-rich foods, for sure, you can eat them if you like them. They definitely will help you on your weight loss journey.
Apple cider vinegar is the next one on the list. If you add that tablespoon in a glass of water, it's going to help stabilize your blood sugar. Even if you actually raise your blood sugar, apple cider vinegar will help stabilize them so your blood sugar will not come down too low.
All right, I was wondering when we are going to talk about it. So apple cider vinegar, this is Dr. Berg's signature. I personally don't like it at all. I hate the taste of it. I don't think that a spoon of apple cider vinegar will do anything else than just annoy your taste buds, but that's my personal preference, so let's see what the science says. There was a recent review published that looked at 487 studies that worked with apple cider vinegar, and only 13 of those were high-quality studies that were done on human subjects. And out of those 13 studies, the quantities of apple cider vinegar varied a lot between the studies, so did the control groups. But what it seems to suggest, if you look at all of those 13 studies, is that apple cider vinegar at least doesn't have any side effects, so it's safe to use. And some of those studies even suggest some sort of beneficial health effects, but the science is not very solid on that. So the hype of saying, oh, it definitely stabilizes your blood sugar levels and it helps with weight loss, that has a very, very shattery scientific foundation. But anyways, there are no side effects, and if it makes you feel better using it, I have no problem with using it. I just don't think that there is a lot to it.
Protein-rich meal, like eggs or even red meat. Because out of all the things you can eat, like carbs, fats, especially if you have a high-quality protein like eggs or red meat,
eating protein will lead to longer satiation. That is known for a real long time. The rest of what he's saying here are more myths. So eggs and red meat are certainly protein sources, nothing against it, and eggs also contain a lot of other important nutrients, and I think eggs should be part of a diet plan even if you're on a weight loss journey, but they're not the best protein sources. They have relatively low protein to calorie ratio if you compare it to leaner meats like fish, chicken, turkey, seafood that have a lot better protein to calorie ratio that will make you feel saturated for much longer. And that's usually the way to go if you want to lose weight.
The next thing on the list is full fat protein. You don't want to do lean protein. The leaner the protein, as in like whey protein powder, the more insulin that's going to be raised. So there's something called the insulin index. And at the top of the list, you have the highest thing that stimulates insulin as far as not being a carbohydrate, and that is whey protein.
Okay, and so here's where Dr. Berg and I always will disagree. Whey protein has been actually shown to have a positive effect on insulin sensitivity in overweight individuals. It has been shown to suppress appetite and to control blood sugar levels, better than any red meat. I put the studies into the description of the video so that you can actually read them, but important to notice that we're talking about pure whey protein. Whey protein is a great supplement that is safe to use, and especially on a weight loss journey, because of the relatively low calories and the relatively high protein content, it's a perfect tool for you to incorporate into a diet if you want to stay in a caloric deficit. This is also and especially true for lean protein meats like chicken and fish, but also like seafoods that have been shown without any doubt to be extremely saturating. They have great protein to calorie ratios, and no matter what diet you're on, you're not losing weight if you're not in a caloric deficit. So lean meats are a key weight management tool, not just for weight loss, but also for keeping your weight off for the rest of your life. So of course, if you eat like a 1500 calorie steak and you eat only a 300 or 400 calorie chicken breast, you will feel more saturated with the steak, but you also ate 1500 calories. Careful advertisement. So you can read this and a lot more in my upcoming book, which is soon available for pre-order. We are aiming at the price somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. You will learn about all the building blocks that you need to build a healthy diet. If you like this content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more from your grumpy German professor on fact checking. I see you next time. I'm out.